The Mac.
Yeah. Under the lights, speaking of facts, double the price, yeah. Under the lights, we covering sports, whatever you like, yeah. Home runs in the park, touchdowns in the end zone. Knockouts in the ring, buzzer beater for the win, go hard or go home. Find out who you are when you under the lights. That pressure made a star, right there. Under the lights, you looking for the best, tune in to Under the Lights. Yeah, yeah, Under the Lights.
Yeah. Welcome back to Under the Lights. I'm your host, Big Mike. And once again, I'm solo dolo again today. You understand? And if you've been watching the show, you know my guy Jordan. He's my co-host, and he will be back on here Thursday. He's still handling some family business that he needs to attend to. And as I always say, family comes first. You understand? So, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody had a great Monday and is off to a great week, work week, hustle week, whatever you do to get them ducats in your pocket. I hope you're having a great week doing so. You understand? And if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can be up to date with all things Under the Lights. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Do all of those things. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify right now, thank you as well. Keep downloading. We see the downloads. Keep listening. Keep rocking with us. We appreciate you. You understand? So, as you know, what I'm here to do, man, I'm here to talk sports. And I don't like wasting time. So, as you know, the only thing in life we can't have back is time. So, I don't want to waste none. So, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, we know it's football season. It's football season, and we all almost to mid-season. And the NBA season is coming on in, preseason games and all of that shit right now, right? But if you were watching football last night, Monday Night Football, you seen the Bills defeat the New York Jets. The Buffalo Bills defeat the New York Jets 23-20 at MetLife Stadium. You understand? It was a crazy game. It was up and down. It was a whirlwind. It was penalties, flying flags, laundry all over the field everywhere. Boys complaining, boys about to fight, all of that. The tension was high. This is a division matchup. They trying to get you got the Jets trying to get the top spot in the division, and you got the Bills trying not to lose the top spot in the division. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins, that ship has sailed. We know Tua might be coming back, but he's not going to take them on no miraculous run and make the playoffs. I don't feel like they are. And obviously, we know the Patriots are. They're the Patriots. They've been what the Patriots are since Tom Brady has been gone. My favorite quarterback of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time. But either way it goes, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game. You feel me? So while watching and after watching, you know, the Jets lose to the Bills, one thing that flashed off my screen when I'm watching that game was the rookie running back from the Buffalo Bills out of Kentucky, okay? 5'8", 220. His name is Ray Davis. 5'8", 220. Got a low center of gravity. You know, that's where your power comes from your legs. Low man always wins. Have you ever seen a hard-hitting linebacker take on a lower center of gravity for running back in the backfield? He got big legs. He's strong, and he might get the best of that linebacker because of that lower body strip is where all your money, all your power come from. You understand? But his name is Ray Davis. He flashed off the screen for me, dog. He's strong, fast, shifty. He can catch out the backfield. He had that 42-yard catch downfield when Josh Allen was rolling out to the right side of the field. We know when Josh Allen started rolling out right, he could pretty much make any throw on the field when he's rolling out to the right. That's kind of when he's at his best. You understand what I'm saying? But he showed the ability he could catch a pass of 42 yards, and I feel like if he didn't jump to catch it, I think he could have caught it and kept on running and went and scored a touchdown. You feel what I'm saying? But he needs to be used more like as a running back duo with James Cook when he comes back, because James Cook, he didn't play last night. James Cook didn't play, so they was down a running back. You feel me? He didn't play last night. But, yeah, he most definitely needs to be used more. He had 20 carries for 97 yards. That's 4.9 yards a carry. You feel me? And the team had 149 yards alone in total. You know what I mean? So he put up 97 of those yards. You know what I mean? When it come to Josh Allen, man, Josh Allen got off to a fast start. He got off to a fast start. He was efficient, 19 of 25 for 215 and 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions again. So we are going into, this was week 6 is just now over. We're going into week 7. And Josh Allen, who is known to be a turnover-prone guy, who know a lot of turnovers, we know him for that, you know what I mean? He has 0 turnovers yet. Now, obviously, some of those interceptions that could have been interceptions, DBs dropped them. But hey, it's not on his resume, so he has 0 interceptions this season. It got slowed down in the second half. They wasn't necessarily moving up the field as fast and as efficient as they was in the second half like they was in the first. They only scored 3 points in the second half. You know what I mean? So that's credit to the Jets defense. You know what I mean? Credit to their defense for doing their job, for slowing that down. And even though he sealed the game-winning run, you know what I mean, in the second half, to close the game, and to let the clock run out, it still wasn't as good as the first half, you know what I'm saying? But the run game most definitely helped. He had a couple missed throws, just like, any other quarterback, whatever. But, I mean, it didn't affect the game too much because they still won. Even though those plays could have extended the drive, it didn't stop them from winning the football game. And when it comes to the Jets, man, the Jets, they under the new play caller, Todd Downing, it was Nathaniel Hackett first. When they fired Robert Saleh, when Woody Johnson fired Robert Saleh, he demoted Nathaniel Hackett to whatever position. He ain't calling plays. He's been demoted. Now it's Todd Downing. You feel me? Because Woody Johnson didn't hire, Nathaniel Hackett. That was not his hire. You feel me? So now that he comes in, he fires Robert Saleh. Well, that gives Jeff Ulbrich and guys, demote Nathaniel Hackett, put Todd Downing in position to call plays, you know what I mean? And listen, Aaron Rodgers didn't look bad. If you watched the game last night, Aaron Rodgers, he didn't look bad. This was really his best game as a New York Jet. Well, I know obviously last year he only played 4 snaps. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about these first 6 games right here. This is his best game as a Jet. He threw for almost 300 yards, almost. You know what I mean? Which would have, if he would have got it, it would have been his first 300-yard game since 2021. So he was 23 of 35 for 294, 2 touchdowns and an interception, but it just wasn't enough to win the game. And in all honesty, with the way this game was going, shit like that, me personally, maybe I'm the only one. I don't know, but I think the Jets blew this game. I think they blew this game. You got a bunch of penalties on both sides of the ball. A bunch of penalties, but it was more penalties, or more yardage of penalties for the New York Jets. It was 204 yards worth of penalties between both teams last night. 204 yards. The Bills had 11 penalties for 94 yards. The Jets had 11 penalties for 110 yards. You know what I mean? Listen, A-Rod felt that the roughing the passer on him, he felt that it was not roughing the passer. I seen it in the press conference. He said he felt that it was not roughing the passer. There was a call that shouldn't have been made. So let that sink in. The Jets lost this game, right? But they got help with them roughing the passer calls that I didn't even think was roughing the passer. Troy Aikman didn't think it was roughing the passer. But, hell, they called it. That's what they felt. Even Gene Salvatore. This Gene Salvatore, one of the replay officials that be on the with Troy Aikman and them, you know what I mean, commentating and giving us his thoughts on, the plays that need to be reversed and things like that out of Secaucus, New Jersey. Yo, he was like, that's what they felt. So really, he didn't want to say, you know what I mean, no, it's not. He's like, that's just what they felt. It wasn't roughing the passer, but even still, that helped the Jets even more. Extended the drive, but they still didn't benefit from it. You cannot come out here and have over 100 yards of penalties and then turn around and expect to win the game. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you got over 100 yards of penalties, that's penalties throughout the entire game. Just think of a football field. You might be moving up here, then you move back. You may move again, you move back. It takes you out of position. It fucks up the rhythm. It demoralizes your team sometimes. You know what I mean? And you just can't afford that. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, they are second in the league, talking about the Jets. The Jets are second in the league in penalties. They're second in the league. You know what I mean? They had all opportunity to still win this game, though, because I mentioned it was penalties like this. They both had 11 penalties. It was crazy penalties on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? They had all opportunity to win this game, especially when Mike Williams was open downfield. He was open downfield at the end of the game on the last drive for the Jets. He was open. Aaron Rodgers, he just underthrew it, and he threw it off his back foot. You understand what I'm saying? And Teron Johnson, matter of fact, I told y'all, Aaron, that back foot throwing shit, he used to be able to do that. And it was velocity on that ball. Not saying it's not no velocity on the ball. It's just not as much velocity on the ball. He would have made that throw a few years ago. He'd have made it. He made his name off making those throws. And Mike Williams was open. He was open. Aaron Rodgers came out and said, oh, he ran the wrong route. Bro, the ball was underthrown. It was underthrown. It was off of your back foot, man. It wasn't going to get there no way. Don't try to blame Mike Williams for that. Don't do that. And Teron Johnson, he made a great play. I mean, he made a crazy play. You know what I'm saying? On that ball and got an interception because that ball it could have easily hit the ground. It could have easily hit the ground, you know what I mean? And that was his first game back since week 1. He had a forearm injury, but that was his first game back. You understand? He made a great play on the ball. Teron Johnson and Taylor Rapp made plays on the defense for Buffalo Bills all night long. Third down stops, pass breakups, the interception at the end of the game, and just veteran plays that help, that also help the Buffalo Bills win the game. And understand this, keep in mind, the New York Jets, the final score was 23-20. 7 of those points came from right before the half, the first half, a Hail Mary, a lucky ass Hail Mary. You understand? So if they didn't have that Hail Mary, the game wouldn't even have been close. We're looking at a 23-13 ball game. That's what we're looking at. So if it wasn't for the Hail Mary, this game wouldn't even been close. So like I said, they had ample opportunities to win the game. You had the Hail Mary. Lucky ass play. You had roughing the passer penalties. Lucky ass play. They missed 2 field goals. You feel me? We're looking at 26 points right here. That could have been, if they don't take away. If you just look at the field goals they missed right there, right? We're looking at 26-23 ball game, even with the Hail Mary. You know what I mean? 26-20, but they didn't get it done. Still, all of the penalties, bro. You cannot win games like that. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. As we get into our next segment. I'm gonna tell you something. After last night, if they didn't acquire Davante Adams from the Raiders, bro, their season was absolutely over. It was over. You're 2-4 right now. And what was you gonna do? What was you gonna do? You know what I mean? To make people say, "Oh man, they can get it together. They can get it together." No, you can't. So if they didn't acquire Davante Adams in the trade, you know what I'm saying? The season would be over. I always said that Garrett Wilson, he's a good receiver. He's a good receiver. Really good, but he's not the guy that you're going to depend on. You understand what I'm saying? I always say he's more so T. Higgins. You know what I mean? He's T. Higgins, and that's okay. T. Higgins is really, really good. Is he not? T. Higgins is really, really good, but he ain't Jamar Chase. And I just feel like Garrett Williams is not going to be able to give Aaron Rodgers or the Jets Davante Adams-like numbers. That's just how I feel, man. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being a number 2 and having Davante Adams come in and being a number 1. You feel what I'm saying? But on top of that, even still, with them having Davante Adams, you know what I mean? The O-line protection is going to have to be better. It's still got to be better. Aaron Rodgers got hit all night long. He was getting popped. Tyron Smith, he ain't the same no more. The left tackle from used to play with the Cowboys all them years. He going to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's older now. He didn't have back trouble, knee problems, all of that shit. Like it's different. He's older now, and they played a physical run game in Dallas for all of those years. Him, Zach Martin, yeah, physical. You feel what I'm saying? So that's going to have to be better. The defense, listen, the defense has been playing okay. They're not as dominant as they were last year, but they've been playing well enough to win. You know what I'm saying? So the question is like, what are the expectations, for the Raiders? And bro, the expectations it's been Super Bowl. It's been that. The Raiders, not the Raiders, but the Jets said that all they needed, they was a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contending football team. They got that. What happened? They're 2-4 right now. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, the defense is playing good enough for you to win games. It's the offensive side of the ball that's not clicking. It's just not clicking. Now, like I said, they looked a lot better last night. You know what I mean? But it wasn't enough to win the game with all the penalties and self-inflicted wounds and shit too. And listen, like I said, the defense, they held Buffalo to 3 points in the second half after putting up 20 in the first half. The defense is not the issue. I still say they should not have gotten rid of Robert Saleh. Should not. So the expectation has been and will continue to be Super Bowl. Woody Johnson, the owner of the New York Jets, said that this is the best team that he has ever had. And that was before they acquired Davante Adams. Before that. Now you got him. It was Super Bowl back then. It was Super Bowl before he got there. Well, you got Davante Adams now. Shouldn't be no excuses now. I don't care if they run into the Chiefs. I don't care if they run into the Ravens. Doesn't matter. You got weapons. You got a defense. You understand what I'm saying? You got Davante Adams on one side. He can draw a double team. I mentioned to you, Garrett Wilson. He's like T. Higgins. Now you're going to have your number 2 corner on him. And how often do we see a number 2 corner that's as legit as the number 1 corner? You don't normally see 2 corners that's locked down. That's why when you see something like that, it's like, oh, shit. Boy, they got 2 corners that can, man, yeah, you got Deommodore Lenoir, and Charvarius Ward in San Francisco. Remember you had Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard in Miami. You feel me? You don't often run into 2 teams that have 2 lock-up corners or corners that can really get money like that, like in the Cleveland Browns. You got Newsome, Emerson, and Denzel Ward. You know what I mean? Bro, Davante Adams is going to require a double team, and that's going to help Garrett Wilson to be to work one-on-one. You got Tyler Conklin out there. He's not a game changer, but with the added addition, it'll open it up a little more for him. You understand what I'm saying? He was making catches and shit last night. He's not going to take it to the house. He's not going to break the game open for you, whatever the case may be, unless it's, maybe it's a bust play, but I don't see him beating coverage and taking it to the house nowhere like a Kelsey or, guys like that. You feel me? But they do have enough. And you got Breece Hall, and you got Braylon Allen. You know what I mean? So it's like, and even though they haven't been able to run the ball probably as much as they would like to this season, it's still going to open it up for you. It's still going to, with Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Tyler Conklin, Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall. Period. Only thing that's the biggest concern on that offense is the offensive line's protection. And I think he was getting the ball out quick last night. Sometimes he had to hold it, you know what I mean? But like I said, you got Davante now. You can't cover everybody for that long. You feel me? So I think, it's going to be good for them. I mean, am I saying it's going to, absolutely change life? Like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? It could, because they do got a favorable schedule. They do got it's not an extremely tough schedule. You understand what I'm saying? And I think with the addition of Davante Adams, when you got the weapons that they already have, you know what I mean, with his addition and the wavelength that Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams probably still have with each other, they know each other, they can talk to each other, you know what I mean? I think they'll be okay. They got the Steelers coming up next. That's next week that's October 20th, Sunday night in Pittsburgh. They got the Patriots. They got the Texans, the Cardinals, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, the Jags, the Rams, the Bills again, and the Dolphins again. Like, the schedule's favorable for them, man. You know what I mean? So, really, you know what? I think it can change life for them. Because right now, it's like I said, before they acquired Davante, season is over, bro. Your season's over. You're not doing nothing. But now with this, an extra weapon like this, and this didn't do nothing but when the Jets players woke up this morning, if they didn't know already, after that loss last night, I bet you they put it behind them. Because now you have a Hall of Fame, legit, still to me, probably the best receiver in the National Football League when it comes to route running, catching. Davante Adams beats double teams. He beats bracket coverage. He's done it. He's put up. You don't think he was getting double teamed and bracketed in Green Bay with him when it was just him and Aaron Rodgers? He absolutely was, and he was still beating that. He only 31. He's only 31. You feel me? So I think it'll bring the Jets back to life a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think they will have a better season than where it was going. I don't see them finishing, under 500. I'll tell you that much. That's what I say. I don't see them finishing under 500 because it's not like it's not over. They still in it right now that they got Davante Adams. But if they didn't, no, it was over, bro. So Super Bowl is the expectation. Hey, and great job for Woody Johnson. He's doing his job as the owner for the Jets. He's doing his job, trying to get Hassan Reddick as well to sign. He's told Hassan Reddick, go ahead, come in, man. We can get this thing settled. Hassan Reddick has hired a new agent and Drew Rosenhaus, you know what I mean, a powerhouse agent, so I'm pretty sure that'll get resolved. So they should have Hassan Reddick on the D-line, rushing the passer, along with Quentin Williams, and you got his brother Williams at linebacker, DJ Reed. You know what I mean? I know he went out in the game last night. Sauce Gardner's out there, so they got guys out there, bro, on defense and offense now, you know what I mean, put together to go out there and make a run. So Super Bowl is definitely the expectation. I think they'll be able to extend the drives more. The defense will be able to get some more rest. And like I said, the offense should be putting up more points. So we shall see, you know, what the Raiders will represent next week against the Steelers in Pittsburgh at 8:20 on Sunday Night Football. And, yeah, man, we'll just go from there. So moving on, sticking with the NFL, let me go to my Philadelphia Eagles. Let me slide to my Philadelphia Eagles in that great state, in that great city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You understand? So, after Sunday's win at home at Lincoln Financial Field, South Philadelphia, against the Browns, 20-16, head coach Nick Sirianni, you see him yelling and chirping at the crowd, at the fans, and everything else, right? And you just wonder to yourself, like, what the fuck are you doing? That's our fans, the home fans. That's our fans. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? So the question is, you know, how do you feel about Nick Sirianni yelling and chirping back and forth with the Eagles fans, our own fan base? I'm gonna tell you like this. Bro, Nick Sirianni, we just beat the Browns, bro. The Browns. They're 1-5. They're not contenders. They're not. They're in a downward spiral. Their QB hasn't thrown for 200 yards yet in the season as we going into week 7. They're the most sacked team in the NFL. They haven't scored more than 18 points all year long, Nick Sirianni. What are you chirping at the fucking fans for? Huh? Chirping? I sat there and watched you on the sideline against the Packers and the Falcons do absolutely nothing when they ran for 315 yards combined against our team. No adjustments, no nothing. That's what I watched you do. And then I proceeded to watch you against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sit on the sideline again. Watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, I wasn't expecting fireworks from the offensive side of the ball. No AJ, no Davante, and Lane Johnson wasn't playing. Those three guys. You're talking about 61% of our receiving yards and a guy, Lane Johnson, on the right tackle side, who's a Hall of Famer, a world beater, a game changer. We win 62% of our games when he plays, 38% of our games we only win when he doesn't play. I sat there, so I wasn't expecting fireworks from offense. But the defensive side of the ball, I was expecting you, Nick Sirianni, to make some type of phone call to Vic Fangio up top. I said it on the show already. Because Vic Fangio is not down on the field with the players. He's up in the press box making calls, play calls. Me personally, I would like to see him on the football field with the players so you can look them in their eye. They can talk to you face to face, talk to you personally, so they can let you know what they see, what's really going on out there on the football field. But I watched you out there, and you made no phone calls to him to say, hey, we got to make some type of adjustment. They killing us in the pass game. They getting everything that they want. It's time to play some press man. It's time to knock these guys off the line of scrimmage, knock off the timing, make Baker Mayfield use his legs, or make Baker Mayfield, pat the ball in the backfield and have to get rid of the ball. They hitting wide open dudes the whole time. You understand what I'm saying? And you chirping? You don't call plays. You don't call plays on offense. You don't call plays on defense. I can see if you was like an offensive coordinator, you know what I mean, or defensive coordinator, and they're blaming you. You know how like last year, like my guy Tweezy, who be on the show, he want to blame it. He want to blame it on Coach Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. All right, you got my guy Jordan on the show. He want to blame Coach John Harbaugh for last year with Lamar Jackson and them throwing the ball in triple coverage, but then they want to say, oh, he should have ran the ball more. You know what I mean? So you want to blame the coach. They blame the coaches, right? So I could see if that was you that was the one calling plays and saying, you fucked this up. You should have did this. You should have did. No, you don't do that. The only thing you do is say, go for it on fourth down. That's all you do. And I'm going to tell you right now, the smartest thing you've done so far this season, in these 6 weeks going into 7 weeks, was say, take the field goal. Take the points on Sunday against the Browns. Instead of going for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3 all the time, trying to be aggressive, trying to be tough, and all this other shit. You can still be aggressive, you can still be tough, but you got to be smart too. Football is not just a game of niggas with big-ass muscles and shit. You got to be smart too. You got to be smart. You know what I mean? You got guys on our team like Davante Adams, who was in the game. We getting blown out 24-0. He asking Mike Evans about motherfucking Fortnite, and do he still be gaming? Bro, that's a culture thing, man. That's a culture thing. A culture and a coaching thing. 2 words, culture and coaching. That's what that is. I promise you, Coach Belichick players ain't out there talking like that. And you can blame Kyle Shanahan all you want to for some things. I promise you, he ain't his players ain't out there asking about no fucking gaming. I promise you, John Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh in Baltimore, he ain't out his players in there that talking about no gaming. You know why? Because they ready to go out there and hit motherfuckers and pop boys. But you as a coach and your culture that you brought, you don't allow that. Because if you didn't allow it, he wouldn't be out there saying that bullshit in a fucking game. You understand me? Like, bro, like, you got D. Slay, he all jokey, hit, with Micah Parsons and shit on the fucking podcast and shit, making jokes and everything else. That's the type of culture, you know what I mean, that you allow in Philadelphia. We don't like that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, like I said, man, you chirping with the fans. Listen, Eagles fans, we the wrong fans to chirp at, bro. We the wrong fucking fans to chirp at. You feel me? Like, bro, we the type of fans to where if you doing the shit right, we're going to love you. If you're not, we're going to let you know. And Nick Sirianni, you have not been doing shit right. So whoever you was chirping at had all right to do that. To be chirping at you. You don't have no right to be chirping at the fans. You think the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, wants you chirping at the fans? The fans, they spend their hard-earned work money, that they die hard. And for the Eagles, we in here with this shit. It's in here. My heart is, it ain't red, it's green. If they cut my shit open right now, nigga, this shit is going to be green. Green. We bleed Eagle green. You think he wants you chirping at the fucking fans like that? They pay the money. They coming to watch us. Bringing their kids out and everything. You out here fucking the game up and shit like that, man? You cannot do that. What are you talking about, bro? You haven't done enough to, like you Coach Belichick or some type of shit. And even still, he ain't doing that shit either. You fucked up because you can't coach. Jeffrey Lurie gave you that fucking job so you can get the team right. And you ain't doing that. You ain't fucking doing that. All that chirping and shit, man, all that shit is dead. You, D. Slay, Davante Adams, all that shit is fucking dead, man. You need to quit that shit. Goofy ass shit, man. I need to send you a red nose to the motherfucking the NovaCare complex for practice, man. I might send you a red nose with that clown ass shit that you doing. What you done? What you did? We got to the Super Bowl in 2022. That wasn't because of you. Shane Steichen was calling the plays. You had no part in that. Jonathan Gannon was controlling the defense. You had no part in that. All you was doing, ever since you've been there, was saying, go for it on fourth down. You need to stop with this shit. Because really, it's a lot of us that want your ass gone, including me. You know why? Because like I said, you ain't calling no fucking plays. I never seen you make some adjustments. I don't remember it. This shit got to stop, bro. This shit got to stop. This is the culture that you invited. And you talking about, the players said, we want you to get back to being 2022 Nick Sirianni. 2022 Nick Sirianni. I promise you, they ain't talking about that. They not saying do that shit. They're not saying that. Bro, say that shit for the opposing team's fans. Save the chirping and pointing and yelling and shit for the other teams, for the opposing teams' fans, bro. Not the home fans that leak at Financial Field. That's a terrible look for you, dog. Terrible look. Man. So listen, man. Now that I've got that off my chest, Nick Sirianni just rubs me the wrong way, bro. He just rubbed me the wrong way, bro. These past couple years, dog. Like I said, the first year it was masked because we were winning, and plus Nick Sirianni, you know what I mean. All of the complaints, we had no complaints then because Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon had shit under control. You feel what I'm saying? I just feel like he going along with that game plan. Oh, that's what you got? All right, cool. Let's do that. Cool. Well, listen, on fourth down, you know I got it. On fourth down, you know I got it. That's all he's doing, man. That's all he's doing. He's not doing nothing spectacular, nothing great on the sideline, bro. You got Jalen Hurts. Y'all had to have a bye week, and y'all had to sit down and have a fucking a man-to-man moment. You know what I mean? And I know it happens like that in sports. Coaches may not get along with whatever, blah, 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 blah. But all of that shit that came out after last season, about, the players sometimes not knowing who was calling the plays, you and Jalen Hurts not being on the same page because of the fucking shit that you was calling, that you was allowing. Jalen Hurts, like, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and call this play. Well, you don't do that. That's your fault, bro. That's your fault. When you see how we was playing on offense last year, why you didn't step? This is another coaching thing. Why you didn't step in to Brian Johnson and say, look, bro, this is not what we did in 2022. We didn't play like this. We got AJ, Davante, Dallas Goedert out here. We didn't play like this when we went to the Super Bowl. What is this? But you okayed that, Nick. You okayed that. And you let it ride all season long. When we was 10-0 and 10-1 and shit, bro, that was hero ball from Jalen Hurts. That's why he making all the last-second plays, last-second throws. Oh, my God, he looks so great. He's carrying his team. He's the front runner for MVP. And that may have been true. But when it went downhill, it was already downhill, matter of fact, on the defensive side, because we never stopped anybody. So all of the first 11 games when we was 10-1, bro, Jalen Hurts was carrying that shit. That's a fact. Playing hero ball, making all the throws and everything else. Because the defense could get no stops. If we had a better defense last year, things could have been different. You feel me? There was no physicality. We had 70 sacks in 2022, the Super Bowl year? Nigga, we went down to 40 last year. 40. Yeah, we had 5-6 sacks against the Browns. Who cares? They're the most sacked team in the league. They absolutely trash. They suck. And you were here doing all this chirping. Why didn't you step in and say, this is not what we do? We got to make a change. No, this is what we did. Boom, Jalen, listen, this is what we're going to do. Boom, 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 boom. As a head coach. And then when you switch defensive coordinators from Sean Desai, obviously we sucked, you know what I mean? You switch from Sean Desai to Matt Patricia in the middle of the season or towards the end of the season, and we lost damn near every game with the switch. You do know Matt Patricia had a head coaching job in Detroit. Now, they weren't the Detroit that they were now, but he was on the defensive side of the ball. And you know what the words was? He not putting them in position. He's not doing a good job. He was in Detroit and out of Detroit. And that's who you put in there for us to work with as a defensive play caller. What are you doing to make change? When I see Coach Belichick on the sideline and shit with the Patriots, obviously he's not on the offensive side of the ball, but guess what? He got that notebook, he got that card and that little pencil, and he writing down everything. I remember when they was down 28-3 in the Super Bowl. I remember that. Calm. He was calm, writing down his adjustments, writing down his notes. Came out the next half. Obviously, we know the rest was history. I don't see you doing that, Nick Sirianni. So you need to stop with the goofy shit. Stop being a clown. If you know what I mean? Or go be in a fucking circus, man, where the red noses are at in the paint and shit, man. You don't need to do that with us. Cut that shit out. The fans came to see us win. We did it. But that don't mean you start chirping. They not against us. We're against you because you're full of shit. And it's time for you to go. That's where I'm at with that. So, transitioning to the NBA, we're going to stay in the city of Philadelphia, man. We've seen the Philadelphia 76ers, my Philadelphia 76ers, in action last night. Joel Embiid did not play. He's not playing preseason. Want to make sure that knee is right going into the regular season. But Paul George, we seen him hyperextend his knee, playing defense, on last night in the preseason game against the Hawks in Atlanta. And they say that Embiid, he may not play back-to-backs all season long, or he may not play some back-to-backs. I assume that if it's a back-to-back against two good teams, like we need this win, you know what I mean, he's going to play. But if we got a back-to-back, we got Boston right here, and then we got the fucking Wizards, you know what I mean, he's probably not going to play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, will injuries be a concern for the Sixers again this season? Look, bro, I would be a fool to come out here and say, no, there ain't going to be no issues. There ain't going to be no issues, no concern. That would be idiotic for me to say, knowing that Paul George has an injury history. He has one, as well as Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has never had a playoff series. Ever since he's been in the playoffs, he has been battling an injury, whether it's a foot, an ankle, or a knee, a back, whatever the case, or both knees, whatever the case may be, or both feet. He's never been able to perform at the highest level in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to argue, that they always be hurt. I'm not here to argue that shit. It was unfortunate that Joel Embiid worsened his injury last year by trying to play because he wanted some MVP votes or whatever the case may be. And in that game against the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga fell on his knee. And boom, he had to go, so he had to sit out for an extended period of time, you know what I'm saying? And it hurt the team. I think we went like 15-27 without him. You know what I mean? But I would be a fool to say there won't be any concerns. But Paul George's injury, where we just seen the hyperextended knee, I don't think that's as bad as what it was people making it out to be. You know what I mean? We heard from Paul George. I was reading up on something. He said he's fine. It's not as bad as, it's not as bad as it may look. I think it's one of those things where looks could be deceiving. We've all had something like that right there where he was backpedaling, or and sliding and trying to make a play or play defense. We all have had, if you played basketball before, you have all had something like that. Unless and it's not like he was, coming down from the air and came down and fucked it up. You know what I mean? It was a simple step, boom. But it's preseason. You know what? Since we've seen that happen, you go ahead and sit out. You go ahead and sit out the rest of the game. You go ahead and sit out. Let's just take precaution. You know what I mean? But I'll be a fool to say this injury won't be. Everybody has a concern for injury. Everybody does. A lot of teams have people on their team that was injured last year, injured the year before that, got injured in the playoffs. You feel what I mean? It's just that Joel Embiid is a reoccurring thing. And how do we know the people that's been injured, last year and the year before that, it's not going to become a reoccurring thing. You feel me? But it's always going to be a concern. But what I do like is that Joel Embiid is taking the necessary precautions right now to make sure that doesn't happen. And with the not playing back-to-back thing, like I said, listen, if he don't play back-to-backs, bro, like I said, I don't think it's going to be against a team if we got Boston and Milwaukee, you're playing both of those games. You're playing. But if we got Boston and the Wizards, bro, you know what I'm saying? He probably not going to play that game because we should go out there and beat the Wizards without Joel Embiid any given night. 4 times, if we play them 4 times a year, it should be 3-0 without Joel Embiid against the Wizards. They ain't hitting no nothing, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said, he lost to 20 to 25 pounds. I'm hoping that's going to, make sure, he's there. He's trying to do everything he can to be healthy throughout the playoffs. I'm okay with it. Because Joel Embiid, I never met Joel Embiid, never seen him in person. I know people that have. He's a huge guy. You ain't supposed to be that big, moving like that. You feel me? So the 20 to 25 pound loss, hopefully that plays a part in keeping him healthy. If it's like I said, if it's a back-to-back, if it's a great team versus a mediocrity, we should beat them without Joel Embiid. I doubt he'll play. But if it's two teams that's, we battling for position 4 and shit like that, they in the playoff race, he's going to play. That's how I feel. I think Paul George will be fine. It looks worse than what it is. And I think we'll have a good season, bro. That's what I think. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm banking on. Not having, I'm not going to carry this over. It's better now than the regular season. Put it like that, right? And obviously I know that don't mean nothing but shit. It's better to see it now. And when the season starts next Wednesday, I think Paul George will be back on the floor Wednesday, moving like he's normally moving. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think that hyperextended knee that we've seen it just looks bad. I don't think and it didn't look that fucking bad. You know what I mean? It straightened out. It did. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like you seen nothing pop. You know what I mean? There wasn't no shit like that. You feel me? So I think he'll be fine. I think Joel Embiid will be fine as long as they manage him right and shit like that, and we'll have a healthy playoff run. You feel me? So that's where I'm at with it with that. So listen, man, I just want to holler at y'all for a little bit today, man. You know what I mean? Just want to holler at y'all for a little bit. I told y'all we're going to be on this joint Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I'm sticking to it. I told y'all if it's a day that me and Jordan will not be on, going to let y'all know. On social media, put it out there to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying, that nothing going on. But only way nothing's going on is because there's something really, really going on. Something's really, really, really going on that we can't be on or I can't be on, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But until then, I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold it down as always. You understand me? So listen, if you've been watching with me the whole time or if you just got in here, peeked in, man, I appreciate you. Thank you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can be up to date with all things under the lights. You feel me? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify right now, you already know it's much appreciated. Much appreciated. Deep down in the heart. You feel me? Keep downloading, keep listening. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Keep rocking with us, man. And we're going to keep giving y'all this nice sports talk. You feel me? So I'm Big Mike. That's the show for the day. And I'm gone.
Under the lights, speaking of facts, double the price, yeah.